makes him versatile. You know, all you need is a troop. You can just put him in play, and you're all good. If you need removal, he can also act as removal. It's kind of hard for him to beat both removal and troop, which is taken away a little bit. But that flexibility is what makes him really cool. And this is definitely a card you're going to see tons of people playing. There's just so much angles that you can take with him that he's just going to be in all kinds of decks, not necessarily even just like mono blood decks or blood wild, but probably some other really cool stuff.
Looks like he's got a gem. He's got a gem for flight. It would have been nice if he gemmed for card draw. His flight's pretty good too. Here's the next station. I think I just played the Inquisitor. I can replay him pretty easily. I can block his core slide. He kills him, he comes back. Seems pretty good. My Inquisitor is that to the end of the turn. That's flop. So I can play Inquisitor and flop.
Passes from Vicksburg. He drops a Blood Shard, got 2 threshold of each again. Out comes Xentoth's Inquisitor, that would effectively kill the Gladiator. Yep. It still has that pretty good gem in it that deals damage equal to its attack power when it comes into play.
And John is going to win the game. He has drawn his second blood. He has outraced Trunk to a blood shard. These roaches are now going to be in the game, and we're going to start to see Trunk. I'm sure he's got removal. You know, he's already burned through a couple of burn spells. But we're going to probably see now John walk away with this game. Be beating with these roaches over and over again to the head. He's got his own life siphon coming in a moment. If he especially if he draws any resources right now, which will probably be fine. John's in a he drew another diamond resource. He's got his charge power ready to go. You know, at this point, I don't see any way Trunk can come back. Oh, another roach. I mean, we have 3 warlocks hitting the table, doing 3 damage because they're slotted with the gem that does does their life or their attack damage. So this is over. One more turn, maybe 2 more turns. It could be it over on the next turn. The Warlock Inquisitors are going to win this game but again, why did John win? I think his deck is stronger.
Turn 3 they overextend more, use Spider. Then turn 4 they play a bunch more dudes and use Ancient, and they just get blown out.
Yeah.
So I think that was more the problem than anything else. So them taking it out, they may just make the cards something completely different, and they persecute the actual ability, the -2/-2 soon later on. But for now, I think persecute is
right. Yeah, I mean, I was listening to both the Threshold podcast, and I believe it was on John's new two turns ahead podcast for the CCG Pro, that he talked about how the Spider or Inquisitor, whatever his name is, Inquisitor, basically it just might be too much for him to beat the format, like, because you play him, he kills stuff with that Ruby Gem. So they were talking about maybe fixing him by making him a 2/1 or doing some other things with him. I think it's perfectly fine. He can be dealt with.
Yeah, I mean, also right now you can't even, like, one of the best ways to deal with him is to atrophy, which, I mean, again, you're playing blood to deal with blood, which is one of the problems. But because atrophy just breaks the game with a Spider at this point, you can't even do that reliably. So it's kind of an unfortunate event there.
Right.
I think if you were to make him stockable minor instead of major, he'd still be the power to be in there, because he still has the never say die attitude. So I mean, he still has the power to do whatever, he just won't be as powerful because he can't just twin play and kill things and be innate for whatever game.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely, if they keep him as is, they might push his rarity, if anything, because he's going to be definitely a chase card for sure. I'm not sure what his rarity is now, but I'm guessing he's either uncommon or rare. But yeah, it just seems like he's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, he's definitely at least a rare, he's not uncommon.
He could definitely be mythic at this point.
Play this in the next turn. It's done. Going nuts with these. But yeah, I mean, he's going to want to get rid of this off the board, or at least put something in to block it. I mean, you can't just take more damage for nothing. I mean, he hasn't done really anything yet. Maybe he just got really bad hand, lots of resources, chaos keys, and So I mean, if he doesn't still get a troop or something now, like he may start life surfing of his own if he's got them, which is fine because I've got 3 of them already, which I really doubt he'll be sitting on exactly 3 as well. So and I've already got him down to 12, so I just start life surfing and see if he has ways to just not die. But it looks like he has unfortunately got a bad hand. And again, like just by playing this out, like I said, it made him waste one of the keys, and that wastes his whole turn, which is exactly what I wanted to do.
Spider working properly. Do you think Mono Ruby still has a place in the meta game, or
I do.
Yeah.
I do think Mono Ruby still has a place because like people are gonna play that style of deck, and it's people are gonna find ways to make little changes to it to make it still some kind of force. Like in top 8s of upcoming tournaments, even the Inquisitors there. Like I am not going to be surprised if I always see a Mono Ruby deck in the top 8.
Yeah.
Because
it's not like the Spider decks really just crush and dominate the Mono Ruby decks.
They don't.
It's definitely advantaged for the Inquisitor decks, but it's not so advantaged that Mono Ruby's out of the format entirely.
Right.
Whereas Mono Ruby, with Xentoth the Inquisitor out, Mystic Spearwalker can come out to play again.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have to worry about him coming down and hitting your guy immediately, or the fact that your Spiritwalker has to have an awkward time of attacking into an Inquisitor. Mystic Spiritwalker should be a 1 of, if not a 0 of, when Xentoth's Inquisitor comes back.
Okay, sure.
It
So
was really just a 1 tournament call.
yeah, I mean that makes sense. You know, it seems
That's
fairly
kinda sad.
poor. Yeah, I mean that's
It's like, alright,
Yeah, it is,
Inquisitor's
but-
back, gotta throw all these other cards away.
that's actually what it's come to. You know, it's like, you know, this deck, while being very good, would probably be 4 or 5 cards different if Xentoth's Inquisitor like was a card that was allowed in the tournament. And of course, for those of you who don't know, we had to ban it for the tournament because of the cost increase bug. So, you know, while I didn't want, you know, to ban it, like I waited till the last possible day to even ban it because I was hoping that they would fix it. But you know, as we'll talk about here in a second, Mono Ruby just crushed everyone all day, mainly because of the Inquisitor just, you know, wasn't around to kind of keep it in check.